And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park Lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes! 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 Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Game 2, post-game, Giants Padres. As Spencer said, yeah, that win streak came and gone, man. The Giants had a stinker today. They scored runs, which was great to see. I was feeling good. Lou, we talked about it yesterday before we ended the show. We talked about it in the morning. Hey, let Logan Webb go do his thing, and he did not do his thing. He did not do his thing. Logan Webb only goes 4 innings, gives up 6 runs. I don't even know, man. It sucks. The team starts scoring some runs, and then you got the pitching that fails. It's one thing or another with this club right now. Discombobulated, I guess, is a pretty good description, because I have no answers. It sucks, man. It sucks. I expected more, and then tomorrow, Glenn, Hauser is going, so you could kind of probably expect what's going to happen tomorrow. So, what'd you think, Glenn? Let's hear it.
Well, I got a good one for you to start the show. I got this. You must have known back in the day. Do you remember Dirty Johnny? I got a Dirty Johnny for you joke. Hey, teacher, did you hear the Giants have an ace? Johnny. Yeah, Logan Webb. Johnny. He's not an ace. Come on. I'm tired of it. Again, it's more excuses every time out. Well, wait till next time. Oh, getting that from Hauser too. Wow. He's his own self, promoter. Well, I was off today. Next game, I'm going to pull it together. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow. We're going to lose this series, Eric. If we win this series, it'll be I have no idea how they're going to win the series. It's not just Webb. Just Webb. Did you see what the bullpen numbers were tonight?
Brubaker was horrible.
Dirty Johnny, we don't have a bullpen either. So
Gregory Santos was bad. I mean, come on.
Brubaker, a run. Barucki, your buddy, a run. Santos, 2 runs. It was just, they're playing a better team. Teams are better than us, Eric, in all categories, and what ends up happening? They beat us.
And you know what's funny? Their 2 biggest stars on the Padres suck. They suck. Let me propose this to you. We'll talk about this later. Look at what Machado and Tatis has done in this series. 1 for 10. That's it between those 2 guys. And you know how much money they're paying those guys? You know how much money they're paying each of those guys? Here's a question. I'll pose this out to the chat right now. Who would you rather have, Machado and Tatis or Devers and Adames? I'll put that out there now and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I know it'll be. If it isn't 100%,
I tell you what, you may not think so. You may not
Machado
think so. They're bad
all day long, Eric.
Really? You would take them all day long.
2 games is not making.
They're 10-year contracts, $300 million each. $600 million going to 2 guys. You got Devers, who's only getting paid $250, and Adames, who's only getting paid $180. You're paying almost double. Double.
Eric, stop
double.
It. Stop it. Lately, you've been coming into the show, Eric. You've been talking finances. I don't care about the money. Give me ball players.
You said that. We can't do long-term contracts. We can't get into these long-term contracts because they suck. And Machado and Tatis have very long contracts, 10 years each.
Well, you just start. Your option was, who do I want, that or that? I want that. But
that's fair. Okay.
But may I say, I'd be picking up the phone now and working out an early deal, because I think that Bailey's got 1 foot out the door. As soon as they get their other catcher back, I think there's no reason to have him in this roster anymore. Here's your chance to put a package together and say, we'll give you Webb and his catcher. Here's the package.
You know what? I can't disagree. 3 games in a row, guys, where Bailey has not been in a lineup, and you got the rookie who's gone 2 days in a row. I don't know. I think he froze up. I think he's having internet. He'll come back on. But it's a. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back now. All right, good. Yeah, you were frozen up. It automatically popped you out there, Lou. I don't know what happened. You were just frozen. But
what do you think, Lou? Deal them both? Deal them both, Lou? Get on the phone now. Deal them both. You don't need Bailey. This is your chance to get rid of a pitcher who's not getting we need an ace. And if we can't get an ace, just build this with young talent and let's look forward to the future.
You know, people forget the Giants led 4-0. They're at home. And by the way, once he got hit, it was like a collapse like you haven't seen. And this is not the first time. And for the people in the chat that think he's an ace that you guys keep arguing with, his ERA is now over 5. Okay? Over 5. And I tell you the truth, his ERA at home, I believe I heard in the Uber driving back, is like 7.5.
That's
his good game was on the road at Philly. If you go back over the games at home, he's been getting shellacked. He still has a problem where they realize he can't make the slider. So what do? They're not even going at it. They wait for the fastball and they just hammer it. If you saw that home run, that was not a cheapie. He's been struggling all season. I don't want to hear the WBC thing. Okay, forget that. Other guys,
WBC's out the window.
Yeah, it's out the window. It's him. And I think one of the reasons why is he's only human. He's pitched over 400 innings the last 2 years, and the year before that was 190. We're talking 600 innings on any pitcher is going to be different. But I thought tonight, first of all, I got to commend the crowd. It was a later riding crowd, but that place was packed. But as Glenn says, there were a lot of Padre fans. And you know what? You know how you knew they were a lot of Padre fans? They wore their City Connects, the ones that look like they're out on the beach, the ones that got like 3 colors of a rainbow. They were everywhere. As for the Giants, it's just, again, today at least we saw something of a bright spot. We had a catcher that got his first hit, his first homer, Oppo, by the way. So, not too many people can hit the Oppo, the right field. The bullpen was shellacked. And I thought, here's the other thing. And Eric just brought this up. Okay. They scored 10 runs on how many hits? On 14 hits, with their 2 best guys only got 1 of them. So if you take those 2 studs away, 10 hits on 13 against non-superstars. That's where I see the problem. Again, the bullpen came in, couldn't do anything, but it was one of those things where you just knew after they went down 6-4, they were done. But and it's only one game. Tomorrow it's going to be tough. But again, it's amazing how 24 hours can sort of change your mind. But the Giants, the biggest problem with the Giants is if you take Casey out, and I don't care what with this thing, never take Arias out. You knew when Arias was out, it was like, okay, you almost had 1 foot out the door. It's so different when Arias is there. When I saw the starting lineup with Lee again, I went, God, where's Arias? And again, the lineup was different again tonight. I know Arias wasn't in there, but we got to start doing, people in the right places. But you know what? I'm going to be nice tonight a little bit. It was just one game, but they looked bad. I expected a game like this to be last night after driving home. After flying for 6 hours, they were like dead in the second half. You know, and if it wasn't for the rook, who knows? But yeah, I don't see Bailey. I think Bailey now is the complete backup because Eric, we talked about this with McDonald yesterday. You got to give that guy was amazing. You got to give him another start. Okay. And if you got a DFA, I mean, don't DFA Bailey. It's okay if he goes to the minors. So he at least get an offensive back, but overall, I was with some friends tonight at the game. We enjoyed it, but the Giants it was bad. They got shellacked, and the better team rose.
Let's look at the tail of the tape, and then we'll get further into it. How about that? Where the hell is it? There it is right here. It's ugly. It's good for the hitting because the hitting was okay, but the damn pitching. Okay. Here, let's also look at the numbers, and we'll get further into it.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Drive into center field.
Got him.
And there it is.
I think it's interesting. Your video for Tail of the Tape features Devers and Webb.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I might have to change it to the crusty or to the freaking Crazy Crab and freaking Lucille. San Diego wallops the Giants 10-5. 10 runs on 14 hits, no errors. Giants 5 runs on 8 hits with 2 errors. Buehler gets the win. I can't believe he was pitched. We had him on the ropes. Look at that. 2 cricket numbers back to back in the first and second inning, and he still pitched into the 6th inning. Webb now is 2-4 with a 5 ERA. That 4th inning, as you could see, was gnarly. 5 runs he allowed in that 4th inning. It just unrivaled. Let's look at the box score. Lee was 1 for 4. Schmitt was 1 for 4 with a 2-run shot. Nice to see. He clobbered that one. Devers had a hit today as well. Ramos was 0-4. Eldridge had a hit. Nice opposite field hit. Chapman was 0-4. Adames had a hit. Gilbert had a hit. Koss had a hit or had a pinch hit at the end. Wound up striking out, ended the game. And Jesus Rodriguez, the young kid, how about that? Not only did he record his first hit, he recorded his very first major league home run. How about that? And as Lou said, it was an opposite field, to right field for a right-handed batter. That's impressive, man. The kid's got some hitting skills, and it's good to see that he's able to go out there and get something done. This was the tail of the tape right here. Webb only goes 4, 7 hits, 6 earned, 4 strikeouts. Brubaker, as you said, Glenn, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, and a earned run. He also walked 2 guys. Baruki gave up 2 hits in his inning of work, also gave up a run. Santos came in for 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, and he gave up 2 runs. One of them was he balked one of the guys in. Whatever the hell that was about. And then Peguero came in, only allowed a hit to finish it out. But there you go. Tail of the tape for tonight.
Somebody in the chat just said you can't blame the hitting. I can blame the hitting tonight, Eric. Did you notice the irony of tonight's tail of the tape? Lee did not strike out. And the 2 newcomers, Rodriguez and Eldridge, didn't strike out. Everyone else had a K, at least one. It's an issue. The bullpen, Eric, we knew this going back when I was in San Diego. This is not we know how bad Baruki is. We know how bad this bullpen is. We know that Webb is not an ace. We have guys who K too much. We have guys who can't get a batting average. What do we have? I don't understand. And you know who I figured it would be? Lou brought up a great point. I was sitting on my side of the bed today. I was going to take a shower. And I looked at the lineup. Get ready for the game. Get ready, get a shower. It's hard for me to get the hair looking good, but I wanted to be all ship-shape, ready for the game. And I looked at the lineup, and I texted Lou. I went, Bailey, Gonzo. That guy, I don't know when he'll get back in the lineup. The way now with the other catcher producing, it's just not looking good. And we all saw what Susak did. People were begging for Susak. And Lou, I don't think you can make Bailey your backup at all. Because what does a backup got to be able to do? Got to be able to pinch hit. He's got to come off the bench. He's not available. He can't do that, Eric. He can't do it on a regular basis, let alone off the bench. But the other thing that really stood out to me tonight, I thought that it would have been, I thought they were going to go round the horn and it would have been Devers sitting out. Now I would anticipate maybe Devers gets the day off tomorrow, but you know who I would sit? Lou, it was right in front of you. Don't know if he caught it during the broadcast. They picked him apart on the radio broadcast. Adames.
I thought he was going to get a day today.
He didn't stop when the third base coach said stop. He scored, but if he's not going to be a team player, sit him on the bench. Say, you saw that. You saw you were held up.
It's funny how you said that because I saw a lot of people said that Borg should not have held him up. That he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing at third base. Again, it's another issue with Borg that he should have sent him and not put up the stop sign.
Whoa. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. What did your third base coach say? Stop. You don't go, well, maybe, fuck you, I'm just going to keep going. My team.
Considering the decisions that Borg has been making, maybe he's.
Lou brought up a point the other night. Lou, great point you brought up. I think I'm spot on with this. But Lou, what did you say the other night? I don't think Borg and the man, maybe they're not getting no respect. No respect at all, as Rodney would say. No respect at all. If they're not going to listen to him, why is he standing there?
Well, he scored, right? I mean, he scored a run.
Well, Eric, I mean, geez, you know,
right?
you could throw in our word. Hey, if we win tomorrow, we win tomorrow. Are you going to say, well, he's our ace? No, he's our ace pitcher.
Look, I'm telling you right now,
it's not. That's not the story.
I thought Adames was going to get a day off today. And I was surprised seeing the lineup that Adames and Chapman was in there. I was like, wow. And you know what surprised me the most when I looked at the lineup? The thing that stuck out like a sore thumb, it wound up panning out. But I did not expect to see Rodriguez in the lineup, especially catching. I did not see that coming. And that's why I'm thinking that is telling. Guys, if they're starting the young rookie Jesus Rodriguez to catch Logan Webb, who's been throwing to Bailey for some years now, that was telling to me. And that's why it makes me wonder if Bailey's being relegated. And I said this in the green room. Look, maybe his defensive capital that he has been spent. You can only do so much, but you got to be able to do something with the bat. I mean, you can't be below 200 as a catcher, right? You can't be below 200. That's just ridiculous. So I think he's on his way out.
What do you think, Lou? Mike is hot tonight. He says, Glenn, who cares? Glenn, he freaking scored. And then he says, or it's SF Giants, Borg is a problem. Good call by Adames. Lou, if you're working for me doing the morning show on the radio, and I say to you, read the weather 3 times an hour, and you go, I'm only going to do it twice, we're going to have a problem, Lou. You don't. I think Borg is the boss.
Borg isn't the boss, but he isn't.
Borg's the third base coach. What is his job? To hold him up, wave him in. He held him up.
I understand that.
The guy keeps running. And then he says, oh, his head was down. Well, then that's another reason you bench him. They teach you in a Little League. You watch the third base coach, Mike. It's a big problem. I get him the hell out of here.
I would have sent him. The guy it was a shot into the corner. The freaking right fielder bobbled it. You got to go. And look, Adames has got the speed. How many mistakes has Borg made in the matter of 1 week?
You can criticize Borg. You can criticize him. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But you certainly have to criticize. Borg, you can criticize it. Adames, I criticize because he didn't listen. He didn't. And if you say, well, you didn't see him, well, get him the hell out of there and get somebody in who watches the third base coach. And because at the end of the day, the third base coach decides whether you stay or you go, not the runner.
And you know what? And then we come on Giant Sports Talk Live, and then we're going to roast Borg for not sending Adames. Right? I mean, that's what's going to happen. Hey, guys, we got a shit ton. Hold on. There's a bunch of super chats that come in. A bunch. So let's get to these. Rob, $2. Webb is pitching sore. Yeah, they talked about his knee. I saw that. There's some tweets out there saying that the reason why they pulled him because he had a sore knee. I don't know. I don't know if he was pitching with the sore knee or if the sore knee happened while he was. I don't know. There's a dip in velocity. But the problem is velocity has never been a deal with Logan Webb. It's always been movement. And we'll talk about that. His movement isn't moving. He everything is elevated and it's getting crushed. Lou saw it firsthand. It got crushed. Fuji Simeon, our good friend, we saw at Tommy's Mexican, donates $2. Does Webb and Bailey trade get a top 100 prospect? Whew, good question. I don't know. Webb probably should get you a top 100. Bailey ain't getting you shit.
Yeah, you put him in the deal.
Bailey ain't getting you shit. I'm sorry.
He goes with his pitcher or goes with his
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, but man, God, that guy cannot hit for a lick, and that is not going to have any value whatsoever. Fuji Simeon also donates $5. He's dropping them all over the place. Did Lou jump into the dugout when the Giants gave up the lead? Would have been better to option Bailey and hope he raises his future trade value. While
I saw you on TV. I saw Lou on TV tonight, though. I knew I texted the boys. I said, guess what Lou's wearing at the game? He's wearing his SF Giant Sports Talk Live hoodie. I just saw him on the third base.
Yeah, buddy. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would option him back to AAA. Is it gonna hurt? I mean, they got 3 catchers on the roster. Well, we got 4. One of them's on the IL. But we got we got 4 Houston, we got a problem.
But all of a sudden, Webb becomes your 4th stringer. That's a problem.
It's crazy. Yeah, that too. And hey, let's get to what JB is saying. $2. Flushing a Webb start, but also a Bueller start. Yeah, I know. We got to him. And what happens? You gave it up, man. Thanks, JB. Fuji, another $2. What upcoming pitchers do the Giants have in the farm?
We saw him last night.
Trevor McDonald. You saw him last night. Trevor McDonald. Wiz and Hunt.
It's a bad team.
This is look, and it may come to this. It may come to where, hey, we're just gonna start throwing out the young guys.
Hey, can I ask you guys
on the show? You just said the other day, big point you made. You came in hot the other day, Eric. You were on the ball, and you said to the chat and to Lou and I, you said you win and lose as a team.
Yes.
I don't think you can put the term win in here. You lose. This team loses as a team.
That's a great point.
Because if they get a decent pitching outing, they get 2 hits.
Yeah.
If they get a night like tonight, it's just.
And you know what's pissing me off, guys?
Barrage of badness.
What pisses me off is, yes, teams go through bad stretches. But what we're seeing with the Giants, they're not coming out of it. You have your stretch, and then you start slowly coming out of it, right? It's not like everything comes out in one big fell swoop. You have a bad stretch, then you start getting yourself out of it. You start doing something, right? But this team is consistently just bad.
When are you going to come to the table, and when are we going to, Eric? I'm already there. Is anybody going to join me at the table? And I'm already saying there is no. This is poorly constructed, like it was last year. It's a poorly constructed team, and they're not coming out of it. This is just a bad makeup.
It's crazy,
and it's time to break it up, man. Break up the band.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it may come to that, Clinton. It may come to that, man. You never know. Crazy things happen when teams like this, especially with the pedigree of the San Francisco Giants. Usually that stuff doesn't stay alive. And look, the fan base, they're tired. We have seen this for far too long. If this was an off year, okay, you could chalk it up as an off year. But this has been going on for year after year, and it's just getting old. And
Mike says we were better last year. Yes, Mike. And the problem with Buster Posey was he took every one of our little pieces. Like Lou always says, no sense doing a puzzle and you're missing a piece. And that always happens at my house, believe me, over the years. But why are our best pieces off our bench? He gutted our bench, and he got rid of Tyler Rogers, and we traded our closer. They traded the closer last year, Eric. Good, bad, or indifferent, you trade him when you have someone else to put in the position.
And now look at the bullpen.
Could we please call the Atlanta Braves and ask for Dom Smith back? Pretty please. Please.
They probably don't want to give him up.
Hey, Wilmer. Now. Wilmer's only down in Mexico. Quick flight up. Let's just get him back. Wilmer, we beg you to come back. We need somebody off the bench. We need somebody who can play first base. Come on.
I know. We're okay. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going on. 6-game hitting streak for Rafi Devers. For Devers, 6-game hitting streak.
What the hell has he done in those 6 games?
How about that, huh? Hey, yesterday he had 2 RBIs. Today he had a base hit. You're not going to always going out there hitting him, but at least he's not striking out all over the place.
I'm well aware he doesn't. I'm well aware he doesn't go up there and do it. I'm well aware.
So I mean, hey, he's starting to show a little bit of something, but it's still not enough. Fuji donates $2. Lou, how was the attendance? You already talked a little bit about it. How was that attendance?
Packed. I think 38,000. It was packed, but you saw a lot of Padre fans. I mean, they were everywhere and they were in their Connect jerseys. So, we were in ours, they were in theirs. So that's how you knew there were a lot of Padres. I wanted to ask you guys, because again, I was at the game, and something that I keep talking about is none of the veterans, when they round second base, even look at the third base coach. And I think it's a problem, because if you go back to that play, at least where I was, Tatis had the ball and he was maybe 30 feet past behind first. The play was close, if you guys remember. But, I mean, unfortunately, we can't watch the video, but it was pretty close. And he threw a gun to even make it closer. I think what happened is the third base coach said, oh, my God, it's Tatis. The ball is not as far as he thinks. I probably would have held him just because I thought he was very shallow. Now, again, where I'm sitting, everything looks shallow, right? Because it's hard to, know the depth behind first. But I thought it was a good call. And, I even told the people I was with, what the hell? And again, you have a situation where a little stronger, because he threw it flat-footed. I don't know if you guys saw that, Tatis. He didn't have a chance to get it and wheel it back.
Yeah, he bobbled it, so he was all kind of
flat-footed,
flummoxed.
yeah, but it was still close. So I think it comes down is, I know right now everyone's arguing about third base coach, but I think a lot of the blame has to go to the players, because they're rounding third and they're looking either on the screen in center field or where the ball is. They're not even looking at coaches. And I'm not using tonight as an excuse, but it's happened probably for the last 3 weeks. And it's easy to blame the third base coach, but when the players are rounding, not even looking at him, you're going to get two different ways. You're going to think the player knows what to do, and then you got the coach what to do. Something has to be resolved, because it's not happening just tonight. It's happening all the time. We talked about it the other day. I think it was me and Eric. It's like, wait a minute. With Casey, I know he's been doing well, but you forgot he had back-to-back games where he got picked off second. It wasn't the coach's fault. It's because he's looking behind the play. And again, it happened at the same place 2 consecutive days. So I just think it's something where, and again, that might go to coaching where, they need to go over the basics, and they're not doing the basics. The other thing I wanted to bring up tonight on the hits, we got 8 hits. 4 of them were oppos. I'm not saying it was lucky. I know Devers, he was trying to go the opposite way.
Yes, he was.
But
he was wide open.
If you saw Eldridge, he was nice. He took a nice, easy swing. That went oppo. Rodriguez, when he hit the homer, all they did was try to make contact, and the ball was carrying. Went out to right. And then I forgot who else hit one the opposite way. Who was it? I'm trying to see who got it. Might have even been Adames.
That's what I was saying. I think he went. Didn't he go center field? I thought he went center field.
Yeah, maybe center right. So you take that. At least they're going the oppo way, because except for Arias, and Arias, if you remember, had 2 doubles last night, almost in the same position. Nobody else is even trying to go the opposite way, and that's a problem. I'm sorry, but there's a whole field. Okay, there's also the gaps. If you notice, nobody's trying to even hit in the gaps. Everyone. Casey's homer tonight, the only question was, is it fair or foul? Right? Because he's done it like his last 3 homers have almost all been identical. Have you noticed?
Yeah, he pulls them.
And he stays.
They try to gem. Yeah, they try to gem him inside. That's the thing, man. He could turn on an inside pitch. There's no doubt about it. Pretty soon the pitchers are going to figure out, hey, we can't throw inside of this guy.
And
maybe it's throwing away at times. Yep. He's gotten better. But the elevated fastballs, he has issues sometimes with those elevated fastballs.
And the other thing too is, Eric, we bring this up a lot. The Giants scored 2 in the bottom of the first. A nice homer. You go up 2-0, and you can't give me a shutdown inning. And that sort of was a little like, where Webb gave up a Titanic tank to make it 2-1. That's fine, right? But then you go back, he did it. But I thought the biggest problem tonight is, and you brought it up, Eric, is Buehler was on the ropes, but after the 3rd inning,
he was good.
He, I think, retired 13 in a row. We couldn't do anything. So you got to give Buehler a chance where, sometimes we talk Giants pitchers they did what it takes to get to the 6th inning so you get the win. Buehler struggled. I thought the difference between the Padres and the Giants tonight is their bullpen coach came in. I mean, their pitching coach gave them, and then he struck out the next 2 guys, and then he got 4 straight innings of boom, 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 boom. And, you know, you got to give him credit because I thought Buehler was going to last maybe 2 innings, but he got through it. And, you know, then it was sort of flow, and he goes, offense, just help me out. But, you know, back to Webb, I don't want to hear an excuse he's injured. He's the same pitcher because if you notice this year, it's been the same every game, except for the one game in Philly, which, again, I didn't see.
He has no command.
He has no command, and he can't get the slider over. You know, I don't know
either
what it
breaks
is.
Way off the plate or it's hanging over the middle and it gets walloped.
And I hate to say this, his slider right now is as good as our great closer. And you know it by 2 or 3 pitches. I mean, 2 or 3 batters. If they don't have it, you got to get them out. But, you know, the one good thing, and we talked about this last night, if he's tired, go the 6-man rotation with McDonald. Then you don't have to put him down. Just do it. Gives everybody a little extra rest.
Well, they already sent him down, and they brought up Peguero, and he was in the game today. Hey, you're talking about good things. Hey, there's good things today.
Giants Sports Talk Live. Thank you for the amazing seats. Go Giants.
There you go. There was Enrique and Julio from Tommy's Mexican Restaurant right before the game. Look, everybody's happy. Woo, let's go. And then the 4th inning happened.
I wasn't exactly happy when I saw the lineup today. I got out of the gate slow early. Unlike that famous Lou, I was thinking, somebody asked me the other day and I had to think about it. Lou, this is right up your alley. They said, Glenn, what is the greatest sporting event you have ever witnessed? What is the greatest sporting moment?
Is that live or just on TV?
I wasn't old enough to see it live. But for me, July 1973. That's my most famous sporting event ever. If I watch it on YouTube 20 times, it still gives me goosebumps. And I was almost in tears last time I watched it. And I've already seen it probably 50 times. Do you know what I'm talking about, Lou? July 1973.
Well, I thought you were going to say the Hank Aaron homer, which was pretty dramatic, but I remember that was a little bit earlier. So 73. And you said what was the month? I'm sorry, June?
I think it was July.
Okay, so that's not Secretariat, but that's the same year.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, he ran in June. Secretariat.
Oh, June. Okay, I thought it was July. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't July? They said July, so I just went with what.
Yeah, they're wrong just because it's always the first Saturday in May. 3rd Saturday is the Derby, and then the Preakness is 5 weeks after. And I know the year. Have
you seen that race, Eric?
No, I haven't.
When Secretariat won or the movie.
I seen the movie. The movie is great. The movie is great.
The greatest single moment in sports I've ever seen. Lou, when he came around the 3/4 mark.
Yeah.
And then he took off and we won by over 25 lengths.
32 lengths.
That's
made a mockery of it. And of course, he and Sham were supposed to be, it's some rivalry.
Yeah.
There was no rivalry that day. And he won the Triple Crown, Lou. And he did it in 224 flat, which will never be broken, Lou. It'll never be broken.
Will never be broken. He won literally by 8 seconds. So if you go 1, 2, and these are horses going fast. The other thing, too, is nobody really talks about is Sham was the 3rd horse ever to finish 2nd in all 3 races. So that happened rarely. But, I mean, Sham would have been a champion, but, Secretariat was sort of a freak. The big thing about him is they said his heart was 3 times a normal heart.
I remember hearing about that.
More power, in the movie. Also, everything in that movie was true. It was a lady that dad was passing away. Their farm had nothing, and she did a thing saying was the first, I will sell shares of this horse for breeding just to save my ranch. So
that's crazy, isn't it?
You know what her name
and
was?
And then they had that eccentric trainer too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Tweedy. Mrs. Tweedy.
Yeah, Miss Tweedy was the owner, but the guy used to wear very loud pants.
The trainer was The trainer was
John Malkovich.
Yeah, Malkovich played him.
Lucian.
Lucian.
Yeah,
I forgot his first. Yeah. So, but no, an amazing story. But
Montreal.
that brings, to tell you the
and
truth,
the jockey was Canadian, Lou. The jockey was Canadian, Lou. Ronnie Turcotte.
Ron Turcotte. Yeah. So to me, that brings up a good question, and I'll just say, to me, probably the greatest, and it was. I'm a horse racing fan, but I saw a horse called Zenyatta, who was the first filly to beat the boys in the Breeders' Cup. And I was down at Santa Anita. There was 65,000, and literally you thought there was an earthquake. One of the things about horse racing on these big days, I saw it this weekend, the sound of the decibels is crazy. I think for the Giants, probably I was at the game when the rain came down and the Giants beat St. Louis to win the National League. That was super loud. And probably my all-time greatest thing I've ever been to live was probably when Will Clark got the homer off the Wild thing at Candlestick, because
you were there?
I was there. People forget a Candlestick held 64,000, and then they'd add extra people. It was 65,000 screaming people at the top of their lungs, and it was so loud. It was like an AC/DC concert. My ears rang for 3 days, and it was the first time ever for a ball game where your ears were ringing. Because the excitement. You got to remember that hit didn't end the game. All it did was give the Giants the lead in the bottom of the eighth. But it was the loudest I've ever heard. Eric, I don't know about you. If you've ever been to an event where you can think it's sort of a hard event, because we've all been to amazing things live. I mean, I thought when Glenn, you were talking, being a Puck fan, I would have loved to be there live when the Miracle on Ice, where that was the first beat, go USA, all that was first.
I saw that live when it was on TV, but still that Belmont was, and to correct you, Lou, didn't you say that Sham finished second in all three that year?
Yeah.
He finished dead last in the Belmont.
In the Belmont?
Yeah. Secretariat won by 30. He won by 31 lengths, which will never be matched ever. I mean, that doesn't happen in any race. Twice the Prince at second. My Gallant was third. Private Smiles fourth, and Sham finished in fifth.
Sorry, I was sixth when it happened, so I just can't remember everything off things. So I'm wrong.
You're usually my go-to when it comes to the ponies. So
it's and the only reason why I bought up second, because I know Aladard finished second in all three races. The firm beat him each time, but let's stick to baseball. We got
kind of sidetracked there, but
I apologize.
Fuji donated a couple of more, got another $2. Says getting the band back together. Dom, Will, and Yaz. When you were talking about the bench there, Glenn.
I wish we had a Giant player whose heart was actually 3 sizes too big. They don't play with heart.
We don't know that, though. Come on. We don't know that. Trainer was French Canadian, Lucien Lauren. Is that how you say it? Lucien Lauren?
Lucien Lauren.
There you go.
Well, I got a problem, though. If you're getting, people are saying, you got to sit down, like Lou just said, you sit down, these guys have to, you got to play by the way it was, you were brought up to play the game. Since Little League, when you're paying a guy, you're playing players $300 million to train them at this point of their career.
Should never happen.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them, Eric. I would get rid. Why can't we not get rid of Bailey? Get rid of Webb. Get rid of Devers. I would get rid of Adamas too.
You just can't. It's just
why? Why? Eric? You can.
It ain't gonna happen.
You can.
No, you can. Don't get me wrong, but. If they
have to, do you want to win?
The only way that's going to happen is Buster Posey will not be the Pobo no more, because he made all those deals. He made that deal. He made that trade last year for Devers, and you're going to say after not even one calendar year, you're going to say bye Devers.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I think if ownership said, "Hey, you got to go trade him," I think Buster Posey would say, I am no longer going to be Pobo because I'm not doing that.
Dude, that would be a blessing too. Talk about cleaning the house. Clean the house.
We don't know. But see, and that's the thing. We could sit there and we could say all this stuff, and I get it. Everyone's frustrated. Everyone's pissed off. But one thing we can't do, we're not in the clubhouse. We don't know what their attitude is. We don't know how they're acting or what they're feeling. We can't. all we see is the product on the field, and right now it sucks.
Right.
It sucks.
So you got to make the product. You got to make a better product.
Well, and you know what? They're starting to if you look at it, they're starting to take some action. We should be happy that Bailey isn't in there for the last 3 days, because that means they're making a course correction. Hey, maybe Bailey is not the answer, and I'm okay with that because I've seen enough with him. Glenn, I think you've seen enough. I've been hearing about Bailey for freaking a year and a half about getting rid of that guy, and now I think the course is run with him, and I think they're looking for other options. Why else would you have 4 catchers on your roster? 4.
But we're just the opposite. I know. We're just the opposite of the term money ball would mean go cheap. We're just the opposite. We're still these moves we made this week, all of them. We're putting little pieces around our big 3 who don't produce.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the little
100%.
pieces that concern me. It's the big 3 who should be the big bye-bye.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, that sucks because you paid them.
Eric, at the end of the day, again, I said it the other night, sports is the only place where you can be an absolute utmost failure in your career. I showed up for work, cashed my check.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's what they're doing.
I would fire you.
Say that.
I would get rid of you. I'd say
bye-bye. Because, look, I understand it's results-oriented, but we can't sit there and say they don't care. How do we know they don't care? We can't. That's something that we, as fans, we can't sit there and say, you're talking about, I get what you're saying. You want
management should care. Larry Bear should care. The owner should care. Everybody should care. And the only way to fix it is get rid of the problems.
Well, and here's the thing.
Listen, if you've got a wolf in the hen house, you don't get rid of the chickens. You get rid of the wolf.
No, I understand. I totally understand. But hey, I think
where these are coming from. I'm on a roll tonight. That's it for me. Good night.
Fuji donates here. This is a great segue. Damn, Fuji's dropping $2 all over the place. On to tomorrow. Try to win the series tomorrow. Oh man, dude, I can't. I'm sorry. I just cannot get up for that one. Not with Hauser taking the mound. I'm sorry.
Especially when when you throw your ace and you don't win, Eric. That means it's tough times. Your ace. And I use that term loosely.
I tell you, man, it's difficult, man. And as being a fan for the San Francisco Giants, it hasn't been fun.
Brutal.
We have very, very little to show for these last few years. And it's just, it stinks.
And we bring up the same stuff every night. It gets me all fired up, Eric. Jesus,
I know, man. And that's what pisses me off, Glenn. That's what pisses me off because it's every single day. It's always the same thing over and over. And what I mean by the same thing, we're talking about losses. They're finding different ways to lose. But my gosh, man. I don't know what the direction needs to be.
So Hauser goes tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, Hauser goes tomorrow.
I think Hauser's in here in disguise.
Oh man, no, LD's good. I get what LD's saying. LD, I just have no faith in him. I don't. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Do I want him to go out there and throw? Absolutely. But I've seen what I've seen with Hauser, and I'm not happy. I'm not. Today was the day to get that series win. And if we lost tomorrow, I would have been okay. That's fine. But now we're going to have to rely on Hauser, who he's been cheeks. Let's just keep it that way. He's been cheeks.
You know the problem too, Eric? What I have a major concern. And it's going to, sooner or later, people are going to, they always do. You jump on, you shit on me. And then in time, you'll be all riding my bandwagon. Because I have a problem with Buster Posey because this is quickly, if not already, become his team. He went out and got these pitchers, Eric, and he traded for Devers, and he built what we're seeing now.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And it is a complete and utter farce.
It's bad. And look, I've said that too, man. Look, Buster Posey has to take some ownership on that, and I think he does.
What's the best thing he's done?
How do you get out of it? How do you get out of it?
Name the top 3 things, Eric, that Buster Posey's done. The top 3. The best things he's done.
Best thing?
Are there 3? Are there 3?
Signing Luis Ariz.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Give you that.
Okay. I'm still going to withhold the Devers thing because that could be something. It's too early to tell. Honestly, it is. It's too early to tell.
It's a year later.
No. Hey, we got 7 more years. Let's see what happens. It could be an absolute. Hey, it could be a dumpster fire. It could be a dumpster fire. But let's see what happens. So I'm going to hold off as far as Devers. Adames, mistake. I don't think that was smart.
Chapman.
Chapman.
No, I'm not asking the mistakes. So you gave me one positive, maybe 1.5. You gave me 2 actually. So can you name another? What are bringing back Giants baseball? Nothing like it is the slogan. Maybe he made that decision too.
How about? Do you like the trade for? Do you like the trade for Gilbert and Tidwell and Jesus Rodriguez? Those seem to have worked out pretty well. They're somewhat contributors to what's going on here, at least right now.
There's another problem I have, Eric. You're talking about, so you just gave 2 positives, not to throw you under the bus,
3,
but you gave me positives. The Devers thing might not work out, but we got all this youth. So which lane are they in? I don't want to bring up that term again, but which lane are they in? Are we building a young team? No. And you got all these young, you made these moves.
Well, you always do that, though.
You brought me the big 3 that are crap who are going to be like in a senior's home by the time they finish their contract.
Look, and that's a problem, right? The Chapman and Adames deals, he probably could have got them cheaper. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have got them, but maybe you overpaid for them. But unfortunately, in free agency, that's what happens. I mean, look at – did you see what happened in Detroit today? And now it makes me wonder, did you see what happened in Detroit with Framber Valdez?
He went meatballs on a player, batter, throwing at his head or something.
So he gives up 2 back-to-back home runs and then decides to plunk freaking Trevor Story because he's pissed off. And, I mean, is that a guy that you want to now? Hey, I was advocating for it. I was like, let's go get that guy. Hell yeah. I thought that was a one-off of what he did to his catcher.
But they said he was a problem. But didn't they say he was a problem already?
Well, because of that one incident. I haven't heard anything else other than that. But
I heard Devers was a problem. Devers' numbers weren't as good, and he was a problem in the locker room.
See, and I still went about the problem in the locker room. The only person I heard that there was issues with Devers was between the ownership. It was between the ownership of the Red Sox and Devers because they wanted him to do things, and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. So you could say he was uncooperative with what management wanted him to do, but I didn't hear anything about being a cancer in the clubhouse. I never heard anything about that. But anyways, to that point, yeah.
Lou, Eric won't like this. Eric, take this for the team. Lou, if you weren't with us last week, you were at the you were on the East Coast. The ponies, the horses were on the track.
Yeah.
I went back in time, Lou, to the day we traded for Devers.
The harp.
Last time we were in first place.
And here we go.
I'll tell you how I feel, Eric. Look, I'm going to be. I'm the lone wolf. I see the chat is just going nuts. 3 of those 4 players, like Tibbs, Harrison, Hicks. I thought these were the guys going to be used to land something.
This is something big.
Better.
Here, let's take a look.
You could say it's big. Eric, I looked at his numbers. He's not consistent. Did you see this? He got off to a Willie Adames-sized start this year. Now, he's gotten the average up, but I just went over his last 30 at-bats. He's got 3 or 4 hits. And how much of this contract are we eating? He gets $27 million, and we're not halfway through the year yet, Eric.
I don't care. Dude, okay. I'm telling you. And I think we're not going to eat the entire contract.
Adi says we take it all.
And if we do, I'm fine with it because the Giants can absorb it, and that's fine. I don't think they're going to absorb it all, though. I think there's going to be, giving as many players as we're giving up, and especially for control. I mean, Harrison, Hicks, those are controllable. Tibbs is controllable. Dude, this is absolutely incredible. We said we wanted to get the middle of the lineup type of bat. Well, guess what? Dude, and he's fairly young. How old is he? Isn't he? I don't think he's even 30 yet, right?
How long left in the contract?
I know it's up to 2029. He's only 28 years old, man. Let's go.
They needed to get a guy that's going to freaking fortify the middle of that lineup, man. Now you got some protection. Now we got some guy. We talked about it, right? We freaking talked about it on the show. Who are we going to get for that middle of the lineup, right? Who are we going to get? Who is the guy that strikes the fears into the opposing pitchers? Nobody. Well, guess what? Now the Giants got this guy. This is absolutely incredible.
If this doesn't work out, you can deal him at the deadline too. See, you guys don't know Tibbs. Neither do I. But, I mean, I think Boston, this is a good trade for the Red Sox.
And it wasn't a good trade for the Red Sox.
That was trade deadline day. I think that was a great deal for the Sox. They unloaded this massive contract. I still stand by my opinion on.
And they still suck. Look where the Boston Red Sox are right now. They suck.
But we suck. Stop worrying about Eric. Again,
no, you're talking about the past. You're talking about the past too. You're talking about the past too.
Yeah, I'm talking about the past because it affected our future. I don't care about if we trade Webb and people are, we can't trade Webb. He's too good. And he could go on and win 30 games, Eric, but I don't care. It's about making this team better. And the players we have don't make this team better.
It's a miss.
Changes got to be made, and they got to be made.
It's a miss.
Or this is going to be a long-term project.
Could be.
What do you think, Lou? What do you think, Lou?
It could be.
Yeah, guys, can you, if I give you a person, can you bring up their stats for the last 5 years?
Who?
5, 6 years? All right. So I think the biggest problem with the Giants is whoever's making the decisions, and I think it was Eric or I think it was Glenn, we got guys because of their names, not because of what they did on the back of their baseball cards. I forgot which one it was. Sorry, there were all three of us.
I said that last night.
I want you to pick up, let's get Chapman when he signed the contract. First of all, if you remember about Chapman, he came late. He was only with us 1 year, and then we signed him. But he showed up late. In fact, I think it was the day of what's his name, who's now the pitcher for the Dodgers. Literally, it was like almost the same time we signed both of them.
Yeah, they had signed. Remember, that was the year they signed Chapman, Snell, Soler.
All late.
Who else? Yeah. And
who? It was like the last weekend of the season. So I want you to put up Chapman stats for the last, say, 6 years. And if you take the 1 year out where the ball was juice, and again, forget the name, just see his stats, would you have done a 6-year no trade contract? So if you take away his best year, which was a juice year, I think
2019 was the juice year, but I'll go from 2021 to now.
I'm just saying what I'm saying is his stats. Not that he did juice, just the ball itself was juice. So
correct. 2019, the balls were juiced. Yes.
Okay, so let's see his stats from 20 to 2026.
I'll go from 2021 to 2026. All right, Harold. Is there? Yeah, I got to compare it to somebody. Who do you want to compare it with? Because then that's how I can bring it up. It's a lot easier.
Will you be able to see each year what he did, if that's possible?
It won't say it's a cumulative of all the years together. How about Willie? I'll do Willie. I'll go.
Those are perfect because those are the two guys.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So what I wanted to do is take Willie Adames' MVP year and show what he did before, and then the 1 year that Chapman had a great year, but the ball was juiced. Those guys, if you look at their average and you saw what they batted, how many hits, how many RBIs, you would go, these guys are exactly who they are playing right now. If you remember the one thing about Willie, and I know you'll get it up, if you take away his MVP year, which literally was 2 years ago, and you go the year before, do you know what he batted?
I have no idea.
221. His last year of his contract was the big year where he batted 320. He had 118 RBIs. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, these two guys, is we had no competition for them. We saw somebody, oh my God, this guy was MVP last year. We got to get him. If you remember, and I think I'm not going to blame Buster on that, even though he's the one, probably the final chapter, but whoever makes these decisions, are horrible at their job. If it's Buster, then he's horrible because we're just going after names and guys that were good one time, not the back of their baseball card. Okay, we signed a guy to the biggest contract ever. If you take his 1 year away, he batted 221.
Same
okay,
thing.
he didn't have that good a year. It was so bad that year because I have a buddy, we have a corporate in Milwaukee. They almost DFA'd him. He came back. He had a great year. His last year of his contract, he got the biggest contract ever. Let's go to Chapman. Chapman, if you remember, he was great with the A's. He had that one big year, but at Toronto, he was horrible. They almost DFA'd him.
Couldn't wait to get rid of him, Lou.
Well, they didn't get rid of him. He was a free agent. They just didn't sign him, right? That's what it was. Yeah.
Couldn't wait till he headed out of town. And Graham is saying the only thing it did for the Sox, the deal, was unloading the money. That's exactly what the Giants have to do. I don't care if you give him away for a bag of peanuts or Lou, we can get some red licorice. All you got to do is unload this contract, get him out of here.
But here's the problem. You know what we've been talking about as Giants fans for the last freaking years? We want the organization to spend money. Spend money, spend money, spend money. And then when they spend the money, that's the wrong guy. That's the wrong guy. And look,
exactly. Therein is the problem. Thank you, Eric.
Maybe that's what it is.
The problem.
Maybe that's what it is.
We spent like drunken sailors haphazardly, and they should be fired already.
Let's see what happens, though.
Look, I have one question about Devers. If you remember, who was the Giant we wanted to get rid of no matter what? It was a horrible signing that Farhan did. A guy that was a reliever that wanted to be a starter. He was making 3 years. I think his deal was $46 million.
Talking about Hicks?
Yeah.
Hicks.
Jordan Hicks.
So we did whatever it was. So when you really look back at it, we then gave away a rookie who could have potential, right? And then we gave away a guy that is still probably 2 years away. For a superstar in our mind, Boston gave up their best player and took a horrible contract back to get rid of him. That should have just maybe been a sign. And if you remember, he just signed it. I think, was it that last year he signed the deal, or was it the year before, Eric?
Who?
It was Devers.
Devers? I think he was last year was the second year of the deal, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think
so. But what I mean by that is I don't know because we're not in the room, but whoever's making the decisions, and it could be Johnson too, the owner. I want to get him. He was a former MVP. We need a shortstop because we failed the 3 times before. It could be Larry Bear. Oh my God, we got a chance to get this guy. He's good in Boston, which is a hitter's park, so he'll be good at Oracle. What I'm saying is whoever's making these decisions isn't baseball knowledge. That's all I'm saying. It was Buster that says, we got to have Chapman. Well, if you looked at the back of his stats and you take the 1 year away, you would have never signed him. I know he's great defensively, but you don't pay a guy $25 million a year just for his defense. You need him offensively. And we've all talked about Chapman's great defensively, and if he bats 6th or 7th. But every year we're batting him 3rd or 4th because we don't have anybody else. The Devers thing, hey, you get a chance at a superstar. They went for it. But
yeah, they went for it. Hindsight's 2020, right?
Yeah, and you got to remember, Boston's only got one of the guys left. They got rid of the other 2.
They got rid of all of them now.
So
hindsight's 2020, Eric. But like Lou says, hindsight may be 2020. But to do it once, you'd be pissed off. Twice, you're saying, "Oh, maybe we got a problem."
It's happening now.
It is.
A lot.
It is happening. I would rather have. Would you rather have Chandler Simpson or any of these big 3? I'd rather have Simpson.
Yeah, I hear you.
He produces, and he got him. He came up through the system, and this is another problem. And he produces for the ball club every single game. He produces.
And here's the problem, Glenn. There's more to this than just the free agents and the trades.
Olivia, let's get rid of him. The guy's
hold on, real quick.
With Miami.
Who was the last? Do you want to say good, very good, or superstar that the Giants drafted and was playing on the team? Who was the last one?
Eldridge.
Nope, can't say that. He's not no superstar. He's not very good or good. I'm talking about that produced a guy that is at that caliber.
Yeah, but teams don't have
had a career.
Teams
that
don't
had a
draft
career.
superstars. All teams don't draft.
Will Clark,
Simpson's not a
Who-
superstar.
What I'm
That's the
saying
problem.
is, who
He's
did
not
the
a
Giants
superstar.
draft that became a very good to a superstar?
I think their drafts have been going great. I think they're
Who
minor
was the
assistants.
last? Who was the last Giant
Will
that
Clark.
the
So
Giants developed
Buster.
that turned into a superstar?
So you're telling me because a long period of time went by, too long, getting a superstar through the draft, we got to go out and just fucking sign names, just fucking get somebody.
Nope, that's not where I'm going. What I'm saying, it's another problem on top of not being able to either sign a good guy or signing the wrong guys. And that's a problem.
So you're
It's a
telling me
problem.
Posey should be gone tomorrow. Just get rid of Posey and let's start over.
No.
What he's saying is if you take away the Giants pitchers that literally won 10, 12, and 14, there were a lot of homebred, but there were more pitchers. Remember that. From the people
Who
we've
was the
done
last
in the last
superstar?
15
It was
years
Buster Posey.
would be Buster.
Buster
And then
Posey
before-
is the last superstar or very good player, whatever you want to say, that
And then
the
probably Will
Giants
Clark in
drafted.
front of that. So you've had two guys in 20 years. Two.
That is a failure. You got to
And
do better
Buster's,
than that.
and Buster's legacy as a San Francisco Giant, Eric, is being tarnished because he took this freaking job.
Hey, and you know, look, that's happened before. Look at Derek Jeter, the captain, right? Fantastic player, but how was he as an executive? It didn't work out too well.
None of the superstars in pro sports. Lou, do you remember
Michael
when
Jordan?
Michael Jordan ran the Wizards into the ground?
Yeah, he did.
So,
Yep.
Again, Lou, I think in a nutshell, all I'm saying is, and it goes over, I mean, we're covering we get a lot of problems, Lou.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is when one guy is your decision maker, and no fault of Eric's, but I think some of the positives aren't even that positive to begin with.
Well,
So he's been a colossal failure so far, Lou. Colossal failure running this team. And how long do you do it? Are we going to be just like these Giants fans? Are we going to come on here every night and go, let's play? I like to call it. We should box it and sell it because it seems to be popular, Lou. The Lamont Wade Jr. game. Let's give him another month and see if he breaks out. Get rid of the guy. Posey. He's not producing. He hasn't done anything.
Do you
Eric
remember?
will say he didn't draft. He'll be in his sack. Here he is. Eric will say, Posey, got to give him some drafts. Got to give him. He's destroyed what we had to be. He's destroyed this team.
I think if you guys
I'm
are
not
gonna,
giving Posey around for 8 years hoping he drafts good.
no, I think if you're going to go back, it was Buster's people he bought on the beginning of last year. He kept Lamont. He kept Yaz. We didn't go outside and get somebody. And then I forgot who the third person was that only lasted. And that was the start of sort of everything that fell apart. You know, you gotta realize Late Night Lamont was the flavor of the month. He wasn't a superstar last year. I know he had the one good year, and everybody, they're in the majors, they're going to put out. Yaz, if you guys remember before he left, I know he's doing well in Atlanta, but he at one time was striking out 33% of the time. He was great defensively, and I think the Giants' philosophy is all about defense, and they're forgetting about offense. If you notice last year, and we've talked about this, the three biggest plays was Bailey against the Dodgers. But the rest of the time, it was more like a circus, which is bad. And what do? If you notice, he did not have a great end of the year, but they didn't get a backup catcher. You remember, if you guys remember last year, didn't we have 5 guys that we were paying? Like 2 guys, 1 guy got injured, a catcher. We've never taken care of the solid positions. And what I mean by that is you have a problem. You this year you have 4 guys, 4 catchers. Last year we had 5. 1 guy was on the end of a 3-year contract where I never even saw play. You still haven't got a leadoff hitter. We have guys that are great role players, but when you put them together, it becomes mush. You know, we criticize this team because we can't be 500. It's because we don't have players that can put us over the hump. You know, we used to lean a lot on Webb. We can't lean on him. Oh, no, let's say what he said. I just didn't have it again.
All right, no, okay, guys. Just listen to what he says, and you could tell by his body language, you could tell by the way he's saying. He's just not a happy guy, man. And look, you could criticize all you want, but to come out and say what he said is quite telling. All right, you got to listen really close because they talk really low. Here we go.
Sometimes when you have a bad one, you like to stay out there and try to soak up a couple more innings. You have to be talked out of coming out after 62 pitches.
I mean, I probably shouldn't have been in the game to begin with. It wasn't very good today. So, thank you too.
You shouldn't have been in there because you
That was dog shit.
Okay.
So at least he realizes, just get me out of here. I shouldn't be here. He knows he's hurting the organization.
Look, that I'm telling you, that takes a lot to be able to go out there and say that, to be that self-critical about yourself. I mean, he's going out there basically saying, I freaking sucked and I shouldn't have been out there.
Maybe it's time for him to move on.
There was no excuses being made. He's coming out saying, I was dog shit.
And you like that? I hate that. If I'm the general manager, I'm pissed. Because how am I supposed to be working out a deal to trade you when you're telling everybody in Major League Baseball you're dog shit?
No,
dog shit.
As a man, dude, I'm respecting that guy as a man. He's going out there. You don't have to go out. You're in front of thousands of people, sometimes millions on TV, and to go out there and be able to say things like that, dude, that is something, man. That is something. I don't care, man. Look, we can sit there and criticize. Look, we can criticize his performance, right? But I'm not going to come here and criticize the man because the man looks like he's a good man. When you could come out there and say stuff like that, it was the same thing. I don't know if you guys saw it. Tony Vitello had a fantastic press conference yesterday talking about Luis Ariz. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's absolutely fantastic. But that takes some balls to go out there and be that self-critical of yourself, to go out there and to be able to do that because he wants to win. And if you go in the clubhouse, do you think these guys, if you put a microphone to their face, or say you don't even have to put a microphone to their face, if you had a honest off the record, do you think they're going to go and say, who gives a fuck? I'm getting paid. No, they want to go win, man. You don't play at the highest level to sit there and just say, I'm going to sandbag it. So I'll give him his props, man. That was something. We're going to sit here. We'll shit on the performance as we should, but I'm not going to dog on the guy.
But this isn't the first time he said that.
I'm not going to give him credit for
time. He's done this three or four press conferences. I don't have it. I pitch like shit. I think what Webb is telling everybody, he doesn't want to play for us anymore. I'd rather go somewhere else. Yes. He's used the same phrase 3 or 4 times. A warning.
I don't know about that. Maybe, but I don't know. I'm not going to.
Lou talked about mush. I think at the end of the day, guys, don't you agree that it comes from the top? You got the players, you got management, and you've got ownership.
It's all together, man, right? And they all got to be seamless. They have to be.
I think the problem starts with ownership putting Buster Posey in this position, who he should never have been in this position. Then what did Buster do? He signs a manager. He's never managed at the major league level. Then they sign players not on what they're doing, it's what they did. So from the top to the bottom has been a failure.
Well, every club signs a player for what they've done. There's not a club out there that doesn't sign a free agent for what they have done. I mean, that's like
Lou says though, the number. Do they not have a boardroom at Oracle Park? Do they not sit down with scouts? Is there not like an organizational structure where they talk about what the deals they're going to make and the moves they're going to make? Because they do this over and over and over. And Lou's right. Lou, they do the same crap all the time. The big three, all three of them. You can't argue the fact they brought in 3 players who statistically weren't going to play well at Oracle Park. Crapman couldn't hit his way out of a paper bag in a dome stadium in Toronto. And he never is. But what's his most RBIs this season? Like 84 or something like that?
No, he had 1 year, the juice year, where I think it was 110. But beside that, he's never had more than 75. He had 1 year. The other thing too about Buster, and we haven't talked about that. His two best pitchers that he actually might have signed. One we're going to see in 4 months, and the next one's in 2 years. I've never heard of a GM ever do that. When you need pitching help, starting pitching, your best signings are guys that haven't even played yet. I mean, Eric, you remember we were sort of kidding about that. This guy, we signed him. Wait a minute, he's not coming. He's not going to be ready to pitch until June. And then there was another one. Yeah. I forgot the guy's name. Oh yeah, he's going to be next year.
Hinches and Foley. Yeah, and there's another guy for next year too. All right, now I'm going to San Jose Sharks you guys. I think you guys are wrong about Webb not wanting to be here. And this is something that, we're already going kind of long. He goes, he's had 3 different managers and different pitching coaches this whole time pitching. He wants consistency. There's something to that because we talk about the organization, right? It's been a mess. Look at this. If you go back to 2019, Bruce Bochy was the manager. Bobby Evans was the GM. In 2020, Gabe Kapler was the manager. Farhan was the president of baseball operations. Okay. Then they got rid of Kapler and you had Bob Melvin as your manager with Farhan still as your president of baseball operations. Then we got rid of Farhan and Buster Posey comes in, still kept Bob Melvin as your manager. And now this year you got Buster Posey and Tony Vitello. This team since 2019 has been in constant flux with that one, I guess if you want to say somewhat, I wouldn't want to say stable, but you had 4 years with Farhan and Kapler. I mean,
so if you're going to back up players like Adames, right? Eric, if you're going to back up players offensively like Adames and the player and Schmitt, and they're horrid play in the base pass. And I've been in the league for 6 years. I don't pay attention to third base coaches. Then you think your ace pitcher can't go out and just pitch? You can't have both sides of this argument. Logan Webb should not be victim here. We're the victims because he's not doing a good job. I don't lay blame.
No. I'm just saying
an ace pitcher. Again, I just call that an excuse. There's too many excuses.
That's not an excuse. That's an actual thing where if it's in flux, there's an issue. No, but to your point,
Eric, I've worked at 6 radio stations, and I think I did a pretty damn good job. And I worked at 6 radio stations. I got in, did my job, and collected my pay.
I hear you.
I didn't go, it's a different manager. He wants me to do things differently.
You still did your job, but you still had to adjust. And when you're
I don't have to adjust.
When you're a major league player, it's a little bit different. There's a lot more pressure, right? There's a lot more pressure. And look, and I agree that the player has to produce. End of story. He has to produce. There's no doubt about it. End of story. They got to produce.
I think this is the problem. He's starting to use excuses. He's got excuses. And Mally's got excuse. They all got it. Everyone in this team's got an excuse, Eric. I had the runs last night. I didn't play. I didn't want to play the whole game. Or I didn't this. I had it's always
I'm not making excuses. I'm not. I'm just saying that there is a thing when you have a flux in your entire organization. That's not a smooth running organization. It just isn't. It's not.
Get them out of here.
For example,
get new players in the Yankees under the one organization.
I mean, look at the Yankees.
Get the right players.
Look at the Dodgers. They've had consistency for all these years now, and it does help. But it also helps when you got people doing what they're supposed to be doing, right?
I don't know about that, Eric. The Philadelphia Phillies just went inconsistent. They hired a brand new manager. They've won 8 of 9 games.
Yeah, they have. Yep. But they kind of been in flux too, because how long was
the player didn't perform?
To an extent, right? Yeah. And that's funny because I saw something on Faltori. They were talking about that they don't understand because they said Rob Thompson didn't do anything for that team to lose. It's just the players didn't produce and it cost him his job. And to be honest with you, Bob Melvin was in that same boat. Why did he lose his job? Because the players didn't perform. But that's not going to happen to Tony Vitello in his first year. I guarantee you, if this is Tony Vitello's 3rd year as manager, he might have already been out the door. But because he's a first-year hire, he's not going to catch any of the flack. And I agree with that. He shouldn't. This is not on Tony Vitello. So I tell you, man,
it's on Posey, and it goes up the ladder. But the guy who made the decisions was Posey.
Yeah.
He's made the decisions.
100%.
All I remember from last night's show is Robert Rothberg said they are going to come out of it. Webb's still an ace. Guys, trust me. And, of course, they lose, and Robert's not even in the chat again. I will remember that, Robert, next time you make it.
It's all good.
Lou, are we going to win tomorrow? Are we going to win tomorrow, Lou? What happens tomorrow?
Let's see who's pitching. Who's pitching for San Diego?
It's Hauser. Oh,
No,
and
I
I can't remember who it is.
I think we go down 8-4. That's my score prediction. 8-4. We lose tomorrow, and we lose the series.
We go against.
You're not wrong.
A day game will score some runs.
We go against a pitcher who's 0-1 with an ERA of 9. Matt Waldron.
Oh, the knuckleballer.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
His ERA last game he went. Who did he play? His last game, first Chicago, who I tell you guys is the best team in the National League right now. He pitched 5 innings, 6 runs, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, gave up a home run. Now, let me ask you a question. Is this going to be the first knuckleballer we've gone against this year?
I think he's the only knuckleballer in the league.
Okay.
I think he still throws it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
There's another. Didn't we faced one already who can throw the knuckleball, but it's not a premier pitch. Somewhere along.
I don't know. It's a day game. The other thing too, it comes back again, is the Giants are a different team on the road than they are at home. I know last homestand they went 4-2, but if you remember, they're only scoring. They scored in 1 inning, I think. 4 of the 6 games. So they just got to be more consistent at home. It's amazing when you win at home and you're consistent at home, the season gets better. And right now they're not. So, I'm a little bit worried. If you would see Webb stats at home, they're brutal. His ERA at home is like 8. So,
and that's in Oracle Park. How does that happen?
Where it's a pitcher's park. So that's why
I'm done talking about this shit. I'm done.
Machado and Tatis have been shut down. I just think in a day game, they break out.
Crazy.
We don't have the pitching going to. I don't care about their pitcher. I know what we got and what we don't.
I don't like Hauser.
I think they tell us tomorrow. 8-4 might be nice.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, right. Let's get
the only thing to be happy about. At least you got to have a couple of cocktails today, Lou. I'm drinking lemonade.
All right, guys. We'll be back with the post game tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow's a noon game or something, right?
Let me take a look. I'm here.
12:45 maybe.
Let's take a look. It is at 12:45, so probably right around
12:45. Alrighty, I'm ready to get to hell. We'll be back for that post game tomorrow after
12:45. It'll soon be 12:45 here in Winnipeg. For God's sake,
let's get out of here.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, let's get out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I wish we had better things to talk about, but we're back to losing. And hopefully tomorrow, man, I want them to win. But man, when we got Hauser taking the mound for the Giants, it just doesn't feel good.
Eric, we didn't do the out of town score. There was a lot we didn't cover tonight. I know you hate when I do this. I'm just looking. There were did a lot of teams have the day off today?
No, a lot of postponements because of weather.
Yeah, it snowed here in Winnipeg the last 2 days, so I anticipate that the Midwest might be getting some snow. Yeah, New York and Colorado were postponed. I always like to.
So was the St. Louis and the St. Louis game. I can't remember who they were playing, but that one was postponed as well.
Do we have the worst record now in baseball?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
In the American League, we got 15, 16, 14. Mets have 13 wins. Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Pirates are last in their division with 19 wins. Good Lord.
Yep.
And so we are tied right now, the Rockies and the Giants for last place, 14 and 22.
Mets are the worst.
The Angels have 14 wins. The Mets have 13. So hang your hat on that. We're 1 game above the Mets for
last better than the Mets. Yay! We're better than here. That's how we're going to end the show, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow after the game. We are not worse than the Mets. Yay!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.